What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy. Got some crazy stuff for you guys today. Take a look at this. Congress shouldn't get paid until the debt ceiling is addressed. Some Congress members are saying here. Yeah, I'll give you the details on that. Also, a judge orders former President Donald Trump to attend a lecture on not harassing witnesses. Yeah, and a judge orders him to do this. I'll give you the details on that here as well. Rudy Giuliani sued for $10 million over sexual assault allegations. He's in a lot of hot water, and there's more. Him and former President Donald Trump plotted to sell presidential pardons for $2 million apiece, a former staffer says in a lawsuit. Yeah, so there's a lot going on here. We'll start with this here. Former President Donald Trump and Rudy Giuliani plotted to sell presidential pardons for $2 million apiece, a former staffer says in a lawsuit. In a lawsuit. Yeah, this new civil lawsuit filed against Donald Trump's former lawyer, Rudy Giuliani, and of course, the mayor of New York City when 9/11 happened, says the pair devised a scheme to make presidential pardons available for purchase for $2 million each. In addition to claims that Giuliani raped her repeatedly while she worked for him, Noel Dunphy, who served as his law firm's director of business operations, alleged in a lawsuit filed Monday that Giuliani asked if she knew anyone in need of a pardon, telling her he was selling pardons for $2 million, which he and President Trump would split. Wow, those are some massive allegations. So long as they did not go through the normal channels of the Office of Pardon Attorney, because correspondence going through that office would be subject to Disclosure of Freedom of Information Act. Dunphy, who is seeking $10 million in compensation from Giuliani, says, quote, he made clear that satisfying his sexual demands, which came virtually anytime, anywhere, was an absolute requirement of her employment and of his legal representation. Giuliani worked aggressively to hire her in 2019, according to the lawsuit, saying, quote, Giuliani began requiring Ms. Dunphy to work at his home and out of hotel rooms so that she would be at his beck and call. He drank morning, noon, and night and was frequently intoxicated, and therefore his behavior was always unpredictable. Wow. Let me know your thoughts on this in the comments. Congress shouldn't get paid until the debt ceiling is addressed or officially raised. Some people in Congress are saying, including here, you could see multiple headlines here. Democrat who voted against the GOP debt ceiling increase wants to block Congress's pay until it raises the debt limit. Remember that the Republicans raised the debt ceiling with their own bill in the House, which didn't pass in the Senate because it was a Republican-only bill. And now Virginia Democratic Representative Abigail Spanberger wants to deny pay to members of Congress until they increase the debt ceiling after voting against the Republican-led effort to increase the debt limit and reduce government spending. As we quickly approach a default, Congress is failing to protect seniors, service members, veterans, and all Americans who would be impacted by a default, Spanberger said in a letter to the House administrators in charge of payroll. Despite being constrained by congressional rules and the Constitution, Spanberger requested House administrators to prepare to withhold members of Congress's pay until Congress passes and the president signs legislation to raise the debt ceiling and pay our country's bills. Spanberger argued that elected representatives should not receive pay if they damage the economy and harm American workers by failing to increase the federal government's borrowing limits. saying, quote, if the American people and the American economy are suffering as a result of congressional inaction, then members of Congress should not be rewarded with their pay. At this moment, hyper partisanship in Congress is jeopardizing the economy's strength, the economic strength, and security of our country, the stability of global markets, and the world's faith in the credit of the United States of America. And I'll tell you, I have seen a lot of comments on this over the past coming days and weeks. Thousands of these comments, honestly. So I probably agree with her because this is a common consensus here among our viewers that Congress should not get paid if this happens. And honestly, it feels like we're growing closer and closer to this. We see this more and more here as the years are growing by. It's kind of a broken system. Uh, this just is, it's just probably not the way we should keep doing this. And I think it was Trump, former President Donald Trump, who said this, that we're probably going to default eventually. And um, this probably shouldn't be the way things are done. Um, and Biden made us wait. President Biden made us wait like 100 days. Even Kevin McCarthy said they met on February 1st, and then they waited 100 days. And Kevin McCarthy has been very critical of this. That why are we waiting until the last minute to negotiate? And now, they're so far apart from getting a deal done, and our economy is at risk. Social Security payments are at risk, and of being delayed, and everybody who works for the government's at risk. People with Social Security, SSI, SSDI, anybody who gets paid from the government is at risk because, well, all government money is at risk here, and this is a significant problem. The debt limit, it's really like a double standard that really, it's just kind of an outdated concept. It really shouldn't even be there at this point. Congress has to approve over 99% of all spending anyways. So why do they really need this double check feature? They really should just get rid of it. You guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. Even former President Donald Trump said when he was president that it shouldn't be there, it shouldn't be negotiated on. But now that he's not president, he said, "Oh yeah, negotiate on it, or even default on it, because it would make him look good if the country defaults while Biden's president, of course." But when he was president, he said, "Oh no, we shouldn't use it as a tool. We should just raise the debt limit," which they actually did 3 times during his presidency. So it's really an outdated concept, and you guys can let me know your thoughts here in the comments. In fact, speaking of former President Donald Trump, you can see here a judge just ordered former President Donald Trump to attend a lecture on not harassing witnesses, saying that Trump has a long-standing history of attacking people in his legal cases, prosecutors said. Former President Donald Trump will have to attend a hearing specifically to be told to stop trying to intimidate witnesses. The judge presiding over Trump's Manhattan criminal case on the alleged payment of hush money to Stormy Daniels. God, he's got so many cases. It's you almost can forget about different ones and remember that, oh, yeah, he's got that case. Issued a protective order Monday stating that the people involved in the lawsuit are not allowed to share evidence from the case on social media. Prosecutors initially sought the order shortly after Trump was arrested, arguing that he has a, quote, long-standing history of attacking people involved in his legal disputes. For good measure, on Thursday, Judge Juan Manuel Merchan also scheduled a hearing on May 23rd to make sure that Trump understands the rules. During the virtual hearing, Merchan will go over the restrictions of the order with Trump and make clear that if the former president breaks the restrictions, he risks being held in contempt of court. The hearing date was set just days after Trump was found liable for sexual abuse and battery against writer E. Jean Carroll in the mid 90s and for defaming her when she accused him of assault decades later. He now owes her $5 million in damages. During the trial, Trump repeatedly attacked her on social media, earning him multiple rebukes from the judge presiding over the case, including the day of the verdict. The next day, Trump participated in the town hall event with CNN, and he repeatedly insulted her again after the verdict. Carroll is reportedly weighing whether to sue him again for defaming her again in light of his comments during the town hall. Wow. Trump is also facing 34 counts of business fraud in Manhattan for his alleged role in hush money payments to Stormy Daniels. Separately, he is also under investigation in Georgia for his actions following the 2020 presidential election, as well as his role in January 6th insurrection, and for his alleged mishandling of classified documents in the Mar-a-Lago estate of classified documents, where they asked for the documents back repeatedly and he refused to give them back. And we actually just got a new poll that came out. 61% of Republican primary voters back Trump in a new poll. And with the new poll, out of the top Republican candidates, you can see that Donald Trump has a significant lead over any of the other top Republican candidates here. You can see over Ron DeSantis, Florida governor, would be second, and former Vice President Mike Pence would be third. The survey from Morning Consult found that Trump leading DeSantis by 43 points, with Governor Ron DeSantis securing support from 18% of respondents. So a significant lead there. Former Vice President Mike Pence, who hasn't officially launched a bid, had only 6% of Republican votes. So let me know your thoughts here in the comments. I'll keep you up to date here with everything going on here in our country on a daily basis. If you haven't yet, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Click the bell icon down below so you don't miss out on any new videos. And thanks for liking and sharing these videos. Here's some videos you should watch next. U.S. banks could start freezing your cash withdrawals here in this video. And be aware, Russian President Putin is testing the U.S. defenses in this video. So click on one of those videos next. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next video.